day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
They toss it out to Devin Neal. Breaks two tackles. Here he goes. He's in midfield. 45-40, 35-30. One man to beat, and finally wrestled out of bounds by Bell at the 20-yard line. What a run for real deal Devin Neal. The Jayhawks all the way down to the Lindenwood 20. They look right, throw right, picked off. Mello Dotson, 25-20, 15-10-5. Touchdown, Kansas. He did it twice a year ago as an All-American, and already another pick six as a senior. 33 yards on the house call for number 3, Mello Dotson. Through a seam, Neal still on his feet, finally tripped up at the 31-yard line. Devin Neal does it again. Another gasher and another 100-yard game. Low snap, Ballard goes down to get it, looks left, throws left, got a man, it's a million, and he waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas. Cole Ballard put it right there for Doug Emillion. And the $1 million man scampers home as fireworks go off. It is 47-0, Kansas.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Mello's pick six was big for us to kind of swing the momentum after touchdown and kind of took control from there. I was pleased with the second half, Brandon, because we got able to play a lot of kids, but we're actually still moving the ball. We played clean, guys on both sides. We didn't, sometimes you get big drop off, and so it was good. So good first one.
Missouri.
3rd and 5, empty backfield. Cook, easy catch. Burden, touchdown. Carroll still in the backfield, 2 tight ends set. 1st and goal. Give it to Carroll. Walks in. Touchdown Tigers. Right up the middle, that's a touchdown for Jamal Roberts. Been all Mizzou from start to finish. 11th ranked team in the country. Racing over Murray State. 45-0 here in the 3rd.
Yeah, first just want to say how remarkable the crowd was today. I mean, unbelievable from the start of the game, the students being out there and being loud, and then everybody being in their seats. I mean, we kicked off, it reminded me of what it was last year. So it was an awesome job by the crowd, and you could just tell our players, with that fast start, fed off the energy of the crowd. And so I want to thank the students, I want to thank the fans for being in the seats and making this opening game pretty special. SID just told me, Kat just told me that it was the 6th time, or 6th largest crowd. Yeah, and for the home opener, first time we've held a team to under 100 yards since 2019. Corey Batum, can't say how good of a job he did tonight. And then, at halftime, I really challenged our players when we were going to sub people out to play to a standard and not get complacent. And was really, really proud of those guys. Got a lot of different people in the game. Man, that last drive, I think, other than Philip Roche, was all freshmen on the field. And man, that is going to be one heck of a defense in the future. Really proud of those guys, and thought they came in and played to a standard. So really appreciative of them.
The Kansas City Royals.
In the air to left field, slicing away from Gamble, and that is a fair ball. Here comes Garcia around 3rd, and Kyle Isbell drives in 3 with 2 outs.
There it is. He pulled one.
Yainer Diaz 0 for his last 8. This one up the middle, barehanded to first base, and it's thrown away. Altuve will come in to score, and that'll tie the ball game.
Unbelievable.
Right back up the middle. Ursa got it with the bare hand, and the Astros tie it.
What an amazing chain of events to get the Astros back in the game.
You got one trainer out there looking at Urseg's right hand, and Matt Gutierrez going out to see what's wrong with Vinny. And I think Vinny's just going to take himself out.
Oh, boy. Looks like he's carrying his right hand. Wow. Man, it fell apart quickly. Too bad he didn't just let that go. It was all covered
Frazier
there.
was right there at second base, and Urseg is going to come out of the game. The Royals lose the lead and their first baseman and one of their best relievers on one ground ball.
Dubon, that's a base hit! This will score two, and the Astros take the lead and extend the lead. A huge hit for Mauricio Dubon. A two-run single, and the Astros lead at 6-3. The Royals down to their final out. To left field, Dubon is there, and the Astros win it 6-3. Houston taking the first of this four-game series.
We don't yet. They're still out getting tested. They're getting x-rays on their hands, so we don't have much to say yet.
Where is, you mentioned both had x-rays on hands. Where exactly did Vinny kind of get hit on his end?
I can't say for sure because he's still over there getting x-ray. All I know is he said it was hurting him, so we took him out. So somewhere on his hand, I shouldn't say because I don't know for sure.
Gotcha.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Friday, August 30th, 2024. Stephen St. John here with Jake Gutierrez. Yeah, I mean, lengthy intro because so many things going on, so many things happening between Kansas kicking off their football season, Missouri kicking off their football season, and the Royals lose another heartbreaker, this time to the Houston Astros after they were down 2-0 most of the game, and then Kyle Lizbuck comes through with a bases clearing double and gives them a 3-2 lead, and you think, okay, they're gonna escape with a victory here. But instead, perhaps a season-altering play. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you, people. They lost a game, but they may have lost a lot more than just a game last night. We don't know. And if you're watching the game, you know that both Lucas Urseg and Vinny Pasquantino left with hand injuries that were suffered on the same play. And that's what drives you crazy about it, because as you heard Rex talking about it, if Urseg just lets the ball go, it's going to be a doubleheader, and he never hurts his hand, and Vinny never hurts his hand, and I mean, who knows, maybe they win the game. And look, don't get me wrong, the game's important, right? Every single game is important between now and the rest of the season, but it's not nearly as important as the health of Urseg and Pasquantino. And I know there's a bunch of internet doctors on there that have already, well, Urseg looks fine, but Pasquantino looks, I have no idea. No idea. I will not sit here and tell you that I think this or I think that. Or Matt Gutierrez saying they're both getting x-rays, we'll get results. No idea. Because if I tell you, well, I think, from the looks of it, I think he's okay, but it looks like no idea, don't know. And all you can do is all you can do is I'm looking at this play again. I watched this play probably 20 times. I don't know why. I'm a moron. But it was just, it'll drive you crazy, man. It'll drive you crazy just how something just like that, a bad decision. And look, Urseg, it's a reflex, heat of the moment. Reach out and try to grab the baseball. But God, if he just lets it go. They would have got a double play, but I don't even care about that. See if he, I don't know. Stop looking at the play, Steven. All right, then. Vinny had to reach into the baseline to try to snag the throw. It's just bad, awful luck all the way around. And we can all cross our fingers and hope, hey, hopefully they're both okay. Nobody has to go in the IL. I don't know, man. If you didn't see the play, I retweeted it. It's all over. You can go to, even if you don't have the Bally's package, you can go to Bally Sports KC on X on Twitter, and they have a highlight or low light. They have a a video of the play.
A replay of
that's posted.
I mean, the reactions are what is concerning. I mean,
well, just the way, it's the way Vinny was walking off the field holding this. But again, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had dummies already declaring,
see the swelling? It's swelled up already.
Whatever. Okay. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
It's not good.
But whoever.
It's not good.
Whoever's running the Bally's X account, they always post a graphic at the end, final, and, like a picture of the game. Maybe it was, final, Royals win 7-2, and Bobby Witt Jr. hit a home run. You'll see a picture of Bobby swinging or running the bases. I would like the person that posts the post-game graphic to rethink what they're doing. Bally Sports Kansas City, a second straight heartbreaker for the Royals. You really need to post a picture, a graphic of Vinny hunched over in pain. Maybe you find something else. I mean, is that we really want to highlight that? Final, Houston 6, KC 3. Pasquantino hunched over in pain. We get it. We know that happened. Thanks for the graphic. Jake, I mean, honestly, did you,
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
How about a different one?
Yeah.
I'm lashing out, whatever. Let's just, okay, so just, we play somebody in the, and we're going to get to football. Missouri won, Kansas won. Games weren't competitive. They did what they were supposed to do. And oh, by the way, gambling, Jake. I'm not here to say I told you so, but North Dakota State plus 9.5.
Yeah, they covered.
Buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, sometimes you need to open your heart and open your mind, because me and Sherman Dieter saw that coming a mile away. I wish I had done more about it. But me thinks Colorado is in for quite a long football season. That's what I take away from that. Shedeur Sanders is a hell of a quarterback, and Travis Hunter might be the best player in college football.
He's pretty good.
But then good luck.
Yeah.
I digress. Let's play the actual play. I sent you both. Play the actual play and how it sounded. This is from Bally Sports, and you're listening to the Royals broadcast crew react and kind of explain what happened, and you can just listen to their reaction to the play, and then Urseg and Pasquantino hurting their hands.
More ways than one. You got one trainer out there looking at Urseg's right hand, and Matt Gutierrez going out to see what's wrong with Vinny. And I think Vinny's just going to take himself out.
Oh, boy. It's like he's carrying his right hand. Wow. Man, it fell apart quickly. Too bad he didn't just let that go. It was all covered
Frazier
there.
was right there at second base, and Urseg is going to come out of the game. The Royals lose the lead and their first baseman and one of their best relievers on one ground ball.
Just like that. It's hard at a ball hit right at you on a one hop, and I try to at least knock it down. That's what he tried to do. I mean, you're going to compete. He's a position player, and that's a huge mistake for any pitcher to try to feel that hard ball coming at him with a high velocity. It's only going to do damage.
That'll make you sick. And here's Matt Quatrero after the game answering questions about what happened.
Much to say yet.
Where is you mentioned both had X-rays on hands. Where exactly did Vinny kind of get hit on his end?
I can't say for sure because he's still over there getting X-ray. All I know is he said it was hurting him, so we took him out. So somewhere on his hand, I shouldn't say because I don't know for sure.
Gotcha. Also with so also with Ursay, what was the conversation talking to him after you got him on the mound?
I didn't say anything to him. DeLucia was checking him out, and he was in pain when he touched his finger. So it really wasn't a need for a conversation because I knew he wasn't going to be able to throw another pitch.
And looking at what Brady Senior did today, how did you like how he navigated that Astros lineup?
Yeah, he threw the ball extremely well. It looked like his command was really sharp. You got a lot of strikes taken. Swings and miss on his slider. Looked really sharp all the way through. Kept us in the ball game really nicely.
He's still there in the eighth, have a chance to get out of it with Schreiber. I know that was a really close ball four there. Just what did you see?
I didn't see where the pitch was. If you say it's close, I'll believe you because I don't have an angle from where I'm sitting. We certainly trust Johnny. He got it. That's exactly what we wanted, right? He gets the ground ball. It was too slowly hit for a double play. We got another right-hander there. We'll take that matchup every time.
And offensively, what made Hunter Brown a challenge, and how big was it to see Kyle Isbell come through in the clutch there with that 3-run double?
Yeah, well, we take the lead in the seventh. That's a great piece of hitting. There were good at-bats prior to that with the walks. We took advantage of an error. That's what you have to do. When a good team makes a mistake, you have to take advantage of it. We made a mistake. They took advantage of it. Same on the other side. But Izzy's at-bat was big. Brown's good. I mean, we knew that coming into the game. He's been on a heck of a run. He's got a upper 90s fastball, good cutter, good curveball, sinker. He can pitch.
Yep. Lost in all the madness, Brady Singer had a good start on the road against a quality playoff team. So Royals now in the AL Central, game and a half behind Cleveland. They're 2 games still ahead of Minnesota. So 2 games up for second place, game and a half out of first place. And when it comes to the wild card, still in good position. 2 games behind Baltimore for the number 1 wild card spot. 2 games ahead of Minnesota. And 5.5 game cushion over Boston for a playoff spot. But, I mean, it just, until we hear what's wrong or what the situation is with Urseg and with Pasquantino. That's all. Man, it's not secondary, and we're down to less than 30 games, and the Royals have a great shot of making the playoffs. But it's just that's like we talk about gut punch games. That was like all at the same time. We talk about the game and Urseg and Pasquantino. Gut punch, low blow in the balls, like like, hey, easy. Like, oh yeah. Like I did, and I'm only human. I'm doing my best. I'm watching the Missouri Tigers. I'm trying to keep my eye on Kansas. I'm trying to keep my eye on Colorado in a backyard brawl with North Dakota State. I'm trying to watch the Royals. I'm trying to do all this. I'm trying to eat a delicious roast beef sandwich. I mean, all these things that are taking my attention. Just being honest. It's good. And so, just have a really good sandwich sometimes. Like, oh, this is fantastic. And so, and I'm trying to, and Scott Carroll's texting us. I'm like, what's going on? I'm trying to get to the right. And then you watch that play. It's like, Vinny, it's like overwhelming. Stop. And then you're sitting there and you're mad about the game, and you're mad about Vinny, and then you're mad about Urseg, and then I guess I was glad I had football to go back to kind of even me out and get me through the rest of the night, but whatever, dude. We'll see.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, North Dakota State getting 9.5. They only lose 31-26. If you listen to me and Sherm and Dieter yesterday, you might have had a nice start to your weekend. Jake didn't want to join the party, but that's fine.
Hey.
Next time.
I knew Colorado would at least win.
Yeah. Missouri covered?
Yeah. That line kept moving.
What would it end up at?
50.5.
Oh, they did it. The Missouri football Tigers, 51-0.
I saw earlier in the day it jumped to 50.
What was KU favored by?
I think it closed at 48.5. They did not.
Oh.
Right. That's where they ended up. Because I think Missouri opened up at 48, I think. And then it
was 49.5 when the boys were in studio.
Yeah. So it kept moving yesterday. And then I think it closed at 50.5, and they still – that hook.
And look, we'll talk more with Stan. There's only so much you can take away from games against Lindenwood and Murray State, but you want them to dominate. You want the game to be a laugher. Okay, check. You want a whole bunch of young players and freshmen to play and get some super valuable playing time. Check. And you want to try to escape without injury. Now, we'll get an update on this too, but excellent tight end Brett Norfleet left with a shoulder issue. But any kind of, they're not going to bring him back in a game like that, so hopefully he's all right. But I will say one takeaway I do have from the Missouri game, Jake, since you asked. Man, Brady Cook, they had a couple of deep shots, and he's been on the show. I don't know if you realize this, but he's a regular guest on New Day with SSJ this year.
No kidding.
And he's mentioned a couple of times that an emphasis in the offseason is to capitalize more on explosive plays and hook up more on the deep ball. And he had a couple of deep balls where he just overthrew wide open wide receivers. And he was not happy. But you know what? Iron those wrinkles out against Murray State and figure things out, get the timing down, work on it in practice. But he had a wide open shot to Burden that he missed, and he had a wide open shot to Marquise Johnson that he missed. Wide open, brother. But still, 51-0. But the takeaway that I had, Missouri is loaded on offense. They're going to score points. They lost a couple of corners to the NFL and Ennis Rakestraw and Chris Abrams-Drain. They lost a defensive lineman to the Detroit Lions in the first round. You know, Hopper, they lost. That was the NFL linebacker. I think, what did he go in the third round? They lost some NFL talent on that defense. And their offense is going to be good enough, but for them to get where they want to go, that defense has to show that they replaced NFL talent, lots of NFL talent. And so the defense, and guess what? And they lost their defensive coordinator, Blake Baker, replaced by Corey Batoon. And again, it's Murray State, but you wanted to see them go out there and dominate. And you want this defense needs to be good. Does it have to be as good as last year? Maybe not, because I think the offense would be better. But it's still, I mean, the offense will make sure that Missouri is good. The defense will decide whether or not they can be great. And I don't care who you're playing. But if you give up 86 yards in a game, you've done your job. You know, we watch teams that give up 86 yards in a drive. Like, oh, that was a bad drive. And like you just said, this is the first time that the Mizzou defense has given up 100 yards or less in, since 2019. So, I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you give up less than 100 total yards, check. And the defense looked like you got to get used to it because there's a bunch of transfers. But it looks like they are just loaded with talented, athletic, fast defensive players that they had to go out and load up on to replace some really good NFL talent that they lost off of last year's defense. So that was the thing that excited me. They're going to score points with those wide receivers and two running backs they got in the transfer portal and a senior quarterback. They're going to score points, but how good can the defense be? And that was a fun opener for Mizzou, and I'm sure a fun opener. It looked like that was a fun. You heard Eli Drinkwitz talking about a great sellout crowd after he had pretty much told Mizzou fans, "You better sell this out. We're number 11 in the nation. Act like it." But that looked like a fun crowd for Kansas out at Children's Mercy Park.
Yeah, they filled it up.
You know,
made me have a little FOMO.
But I'm surprised you can go out there.
I think I'll definitely see at least.
You should go out there.
UNLV.
Yeah, because I mean, nothing against Lindenwood, but that's not
right.
You know,
right.
I mean, the UNLV game's a bowl game match.
Yeah, rematch.
You know, and so yeah, to go out there and that's Jake's Worlds Colliding. Go out there and see at Children's Mercy and KU play UNLV. Go do that. We'll send you out there.
I'll go out
We'll get you on the sideline. See if you get knocked over like that girl did.
Poor girl.
You know what? She got up, dusted it off. She's double tough.
Whew.
Did you see Leipold went over and checked on her too?
Yeah. I mean, that's classy. But
she got lit up.
Oh man.
She bounced back though. She's double tough.
She looked a little spacey, but she got up.
Oh, she got up. That's double tough because she took a hard hit. Who was? Do you know who that was? Who was it?
No, I read he went over and
she got knocked in the next week, and I said, "Oh my God!" And then she got up. Okay, she's good.
All over X or Twitter.
But that can be a source of pride now, because to me, she
took a hit.
She showed tremendous durability and toughness.
Tremendous.
And I said, "Look at this! I could take a hit. Let's go." You know what I mean?
She did. Got to have a head on swivel when you're down there.
My God.
Whew.
So maybe I don't want you on the sideline. Could you take that hit? I don't know that you could.
I feel like I took that hit.
I know, but I don't know that you could take that hit the way she did. I don't think you would get up as quick. I'm just being honest.
I probably wouldn't.
Right.
I probably would have blown my knee out.
Can I yeah, right. And you know what? If that was me, I'd still be on the ground.
They'd stretcher me out of there.
That back would have been over. Yeah. I might be getting up right now. I just might be getting out of my hospital bed as we speak. So whoever that young lady was, I'm glad you're okay, but triple tough. You know. Tremendous.
His Shaw.
That's who hit her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lance made sure she was okay. All right.
Classy.
Mizzou wins. Kansas wins. Colorado almost doesn't win. And the Royals lose a game, and we'll see how long they lose Lucas Herseg and Vinny Pasquantino. Sad face. Back after this on WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you for joining us on this Friday, August 30th, 2024. Later on, we'll check in with Jeff Penner and get your Labor Day weekend forecast. Then it will be the season debut of the New Day Blitz. Name of the show, you got me. We'll check in with Gabe DeArmond about Mizzou, John Kirby about Kansas, and Stan Weber's nemesis, Matt Walters, about Kansas State. I don't know why I just said that, but could he be your nemesis, perhaps?
I don't know why. I work with him and enjoy being around him, so
you're confidant. Is he confidant?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the definition of confidant is. Friend,
your
coworker, long time
your colleague.
Oh yeah, that's a really good word.
Matt
Walters, a very good guy.
Matt Walters would call Nate soccer boy.
Oh yes,
but
he
now
would.
Nate's not here, and so I don't know what he'll do. He can still call him that.
Is he going to call you something?
I don't know. Can't call me soccer boy. I can tell you that.
New nickname.
Whatever he wants. Mike McFarland will join us, and also Dion Clisso will preview opening night in Missouri high school football stand, which includes a game I'll be going to, St. Pius X at Rockhurst. For the first time since when? I said it in passing and see if Jake remembers. For the first time since when these two teams were playing?
1985.
1974.
Whew.
So, it's the Pasta Bowl. St. Pius at Rockhurst. What are you laughing for?
Is this a 2-game contract? Will they be?
Well, no, they're Pius next year.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. Let me tell you.
Rockhurst at Pius?
Good luck. Hey, good luck getting a seat to that one. I'll be scalping tickets. No, I won't. I might. No, I won't. Yes, I will. No, I won't.
Be selling your daughter's student ID?
Yeah. No, you know what? They're locked in.
You got two of them.
They're locked in. We got a whole. We're taking a whole car full of kids somehow.
That's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
For who, me or the kids?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
We got the girls. We got Selena. We got Julia. We got Lila. We got Ben. They're all piling in and heading over there with us.
Those are great memories, man.
It is. Well, we'll see. But it's just fun that they're going to play. I don't know what to expect, Stan. I have no idea. But it's fun that they're actually going to play. This is a game that many people have wanted to see for a long time. And I bet I know Rockhurst has got a bigger,
4,000.
4,000 we're talking
4,
about? Well, there'll be more than 4,000 at least. So I've got to get there.
I don't think that counts standing room, but that's
right.
I looked it up when you were talking about it.
I stand at all the football games anyway. I'm a stand. I pace. I stand. I can't sit.
Where do you go then to stand?
Well, you know why? I have to be away from the Pius student section, just because I'm told to, and so I can't be there, and so I go find a group of parents.
Mm-hmm.
I go stand. I try to find some dads that I know that have sons.
So
on the
you'll
football
probably
team.
be at 15-yard line with them?
Probably somewhere, but I'll find a couple of dads that I know that have sons on the football team, and so I can talk to them.
So it's not like you move with the ball at all. You kind of stay at your end of the stadium.
Yeah, I try to get a nice spot where I can just, eavesdrop and listen. And I like to focus on the game. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. But college football, do you want to say anything about the Royals? I'm sad about that. You told me, you didn't hear this. Stan walks in and he goes, it's kind of like winter. It's still dark outside. I said, well, Stan, it's dark in my heart because of Vinny Pasquantino. That was a very sad comment that I gave Stan, but I meant it because I'm very upset until I hear the results of Vinny Pasquantino's X-ray or whatever else he's getting. But that was, I'm just sad. I don't know how bad Ursak's hurt or Pasquantino, but.
Yeah, I think, I'm no baseball expert, but the way that I see the Royals play, which works fine in baseball because anybody who hits 300 is a Hall of Famer. So you can fail many times and be successful. But when the Royals have effectiveness on the offensive end, it comes in a certain spot all the time, right? I mean, 3 guys over 90 RBIs on the same team on their way to – so – this is a little bit different. Anytime a player gets injured, I think about growing up in the 70s, and anytime, George had something pop up or whatever, and he's your best player, he's out for 15 games or something like that. It hurt, but it seemed like the whole lineup pressed you. Does that make sense in those days?
Al McRae, Frank White, let's go.
And even Freddie Patek before then would make things happen.
Willie Wilson.
How about Willie Wilson? You said Amos Otis already?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Al Cowens.
Yeah.
The guys seem to spread out the pressure on the defense when they're on the offensive side. And that's what really concerns me about this Royals team is when you talk about an injury of a producer, there is the bottom part of the order where they do some things that help, but they don't produce much at all. So you lose almost 25% of your firepower right there if he's not in the lineup, right?
You want to hear this stat?
Yes.
It was a fun stat before the game that I retweeted. Since the All-Star break, most ribbies in Major League Baseball since the All-Star break.
Vinny.
Aaron Judge. Yeah, Aaron Judge.
Yeah, he's been hot. He's been popping home runs.
With 38. Number 2.
I would say Vinny.
35. Yeah.
Wow.
Since the All-Star break, the only person that has driven in more runs than Vinny Pasquantino is Aaron Judge. And as great as he's been, only 3 more.
Right.
Number 3?
Salvador is what I was going to guess.
Number 4?
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah. Yes. They both have 32. So.
Wow. Well, it just bunches around that area. That's what I'm saying here is that the Royals, it's an interesting game in baseball. You can get by doing this. It's not how people structure their lineups, but you can get by because at the end of the day, you only need 4 or 5 runs to win a baseball game. So it's okay to have a little bunch, maybe 1 inning or 2 innings worth of production from that group, and the Royals have enough runs to win. But you take away, like I said, to me, that's like 25% of the firepower because there's those 3 guys and then everybody else. Does that kind of make an equation? Those 3 guys are entities upon themselves, and then every other guy in the lineup, they take turns doing some good things. And so having Vinny, how many times have you seen Bobby Witt Jr. walked? Not as many as I thought I would, the old intentional walk. But when it's been an intentional walk, Vinny walks up to the plate and makes them pay.
Right, he'll crush you.
Which helps Witt Jr. get pitched to.
Here you go, Jake. And I know he did not hit well for the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are not playing well. And I don't want to hear it because here's my example. How was Paul DeYoung hitting for the miserable White Sox? Not very well. And how did he do when he went to a winning environment with the Royals? He's been very
well.
Good, all right? The Cardinals, after acquiring him 3 weeks ago, are placing Tommy Pham on waivers. So go ahead, Royals. Claim Tommy Pham to come in here, turn the season around, and maybe beat someone up. I don't know. So there you go. There, Jake. There's a.
He started out really hot for him.
Well, then he did not stay hot.
And on the field for the Royals, you have to say, how much are each of these games going to matter? Baseball, you have to understand you're going to lose some. Okay, that's fine. And if the Royals play 500 ball the rest of the way, most people would have taken that with the hard schedule they had, maybe starting at the beginning of the week that we are in right now. If you've said Royals play 500 baseball, you say, I'll take that right away. Let's go. But you just wonder, the last 2 games they could have won.
Right.
And you hope that doesn't build up because when you get your share of the series with Houston, that might have been your share.
And it's also like, what are we talking about? Just making the playoffs versus what you have to do to win the division.
Yeah, and winning the division is so much more valuable.
Well, sure. Ooh. Okay. All right.
That's okay. That's all right. Stay right in there. Fight, fight, fight.
Maybe
get
we'll
ready for your St. Pius cheer tonight.
That's right. We're Star Times. We're Warriors. We fight with
my wife was a cheerleader at K-State, so I know some of these things.
Nothing can stop us from any goal inside. Hey.
Oh, that's unique.
I nailed it. All these years later. All right.
You're a St. Pius grad.
Well,
so you know all these
that's
things.
What they say, but there was no, honestly, there was a question when I opened that leather-bound holder that was it going to be in there, and it was in there. I was like, thank you, baby Jesus. Okay, so hopefully between now and 10 o'clock, we'll hear something. I just want it's It's the not knowing because I'll drive I'm thinking about it.
Why do you say 10? Oh, because your show's on till 10. Okay.
Who cares?
I say, like, why are you saying with the Royals?
Honestly, who cares at 10:01, really? I mean, I'm out the door. And, you won't hear from me
Jake will be
Tuesday
sleeping
morning,
at 10:05.
Right. So, you want to take a break before we get into football? Or do you just want to wash my sadness away right now? Whatever you want to do, Jake. This is your show. Okay. So I know you're set up. You can watch it all. So
yes.
And it was hard for me because I'm locked in.
I feel sorry for almost everyone who wasn't at a sports bar.
I'm locked in on Missouri, and I want to check in on Kansas, but I kept getting distracted by Colorado's fist fight with North Dakota State. And again, credit to me, Sherm, and Gary Dieter, who told everyone to take North Dakota State any 9.5 points. Gary Barnett was on here. He goes, what North Dakota State does well doesn't match up with what Colorado struggles with. This is going to be a tough game. He told us all. He laid it all out there. And then, North Dakota State, they didn't win the game, but they covered. Let's start there because that was the competitive game. What do you take away from that? Since Colorado's in the Big 12 and it matters now, the quarterback's terrific. Travis Hunter is probably the best all-around college football player in the nation. But what do you say, Stan?
Colorado missed a really train coming down the tracks at them because if they would have lost after all the negative publicity around Deion Sanders and how he's handled the media, there's very few people who've jumped on his side and said, yeah, it's okay that you say you're not going to answer the question from this person or, how he's kind of handled himself after a 4-8 season. Last year was all, what do you guys say? Peaches and cream or whatever that saying
Sunshine
is.
and rainbows, all
That's
of it.
what it is. So,
Peaches
roses,
and roses,
that's what it was. No cream. I'm thinking like tennis tournaments or
Right.
something. No, he had a ton of pressure on him, and if he would have lost with the schedule they have, they go to Nebraska next week. They go to Colorado State on the road. They've got a hard schedule. And if he would have lost to North Dakota State, that wouldn't have been acceptable to that sellout crowd. We knew it was a competitive game. The betting line being only 9 points with an FCS opponent going into, like Deion Sanders says after the game very confidently, he's got 2 Heisman Trophy candidates that should be right in the race. He thinks he's got 2 of the first 5 picks in the NFL draft next year is what he's saying. So they did avoid a disaster, and that was so important. So I've got to credit Colorado because I thought North Dakota State was going to find a way to win. Now, what Gary Barnett talked about is North Dakota State loves to get into an I formation, give you all kinds of formations, but run the ball right up the butt of the center, the zero hole, okay? And that usually gets you 4, 6, 7 yards because you take out, 7 of the other team's players. You're just playing against 4. And you get demoralized, they get worn down, they use time. But guess what? Colorado's defense didn't allow them to do that. North Dakota State's quarterback had to step up and throw the ball. And he did. They made plays. They responded in so many ways.
Every time they switch quarterbacks, so they're
Why did they put the big lefty in? Because one of the big plays is a delay of game. And, yeah, I agree. And he ran – the big lefty, number 9, he ran up the middle, and it looked like he was going to get a good quarterback run, except for they said penalty, delay of game against Colorado, so it didn't – against North Dakota State. Anyway, how Colorado responded under pressure, because that was upset city right there. Deion Sanders, if you don't know, in the first half, had a 4th and 1 at his own, say, 35-yard line. He went for it and didn't make it. That's not good coaching right there. He was behind. North Dakota State was up by 3, Stephen, and he gave him that little bit of momentum, and yet Colorado overcame it with their explosive plays. Their receiving core is so fast, and Hunter actually, I think, won the game because some of the balls that he caught were really hard to catch, and he was allowed to shove off.
Oh, that
I
one touchdown
wonder,
was crazy.
that's the Michael Irvin. Remember when Michael Irvin of the Dallas Cowboys used to push off, use his elbow or arm extension and then catch a ball, and everyone would gripe about it? He rarely ever had it called against him. I wonder what's going to happen to Travis Hunter after everybody in the nation could watch that game on ESPN. You know how many officials were just sitting there watching on that Thursday night, getting ready for their games on Saturday? So we'll see, but you could say he's very smart and subtle with how he does his little shoves. A two-way player that played over 100 plays. He was big time again, just like he started last year. So you got to say Colorado did what they needed to do, the explosiveness that they showed, throwing over 400 yards. And Sanders, his son, the quarterback, did you hear this stat?
What was it?
In the last 20 years, only 2 players have started the season, game 1, in college football and thrown for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns or more in each of 2 seasons. Do you know who the other guy is after Sanders did it again? He lit up TCU last year to start the year, and he did it against North Dakota State. And it almost worked against them because they would get 60-yard plays. North Dakota State would drive the ball down, take 4 minutes, and Colorado would score in 2 plays. The other guy who's done that in the last 20 years, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a good guy to be compared to.
Yeah, because you don't think about the Texas Tech Mahomes enough. Right? I mean, now when you go look back, you go, oh, that shouldn't surprise us. But Texas Tech was like a 7-6, 7-5 team with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. So anyway, I thought Colorado did a good job. That game next week, I cannot wait for. Nebraska and Colorado really do not like each other. And last year, Nebraska went in and beat Colorado. And now what's going to happen? Both teams need this win so bad, and they hate each other. Can't wait for next week. But Colorado avoided a disaster. If they'd have lost to North Dakota State, Deion Sanders would have been the lead story in college football this week.
We'll be right back after this with Stan Weber on Sports Radio 810 WHB.